Hearty welcome to all knowledge seekers to my channel. This is Dr. Madhusudan Rao Kadapa. In this video, I am going to explain the divisibility rules. That means here we come across the conditions for divisibility of a given number by 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on. Now let us see what are the conditions for divisibility of a number by a given number. First one is the condition for divisibility by 2. So any number that ends with 0, 2, 4, 6 and 8, these are all divisible by 2. So a number that ends with, that means which has 0, 2, 4 or 6 or 8 in its unit place is divisible by 2. Or in other words, all even numbers, because those numbers which ends with 0, 2, 4, 6 or 8 are called even numbers. So all even numbers are divisible by 2, or we can state it in the other way, like all numbers which are divisible by 2 are called even numbers. But here we should remember one thing, that the check for condition of divisibility by 2 is limited to units place only. So why I have given this note, because when we come across the condition for divisibility by 4 and divisibility by 8, there along with the units place we will consider the other places also, that is tens and hundreds, like that. So that's why when it comes to the divisibility by 2, the condition is that we will consider only units place, and that should be an even number. Now coming to the condition for divisibility by 3. Here whatever the size of the number it may be, it may have any number of digits, but here for the test to divide divisibility, to find whether it is divisible by 3 or not, what we do is we will find the sum of digits. So in a given number we will add up all the digits, and if the sum is divisible by 3, then that number is also divisible by 3. In order to understand, let us check the divisibility of 2,57,469 by 3. So here we need not carry out the actual division operation. Adding the digits like this, 2 plus 5 plus 7 plus 4 plus 6 plus 9, which is 33. So as 33 is divisible by 3, that number 2,57,469 is also divisible by 3. So no need to carry out the actual division operation. Next, coming to the condition for divisibility by 4. So earlier, while explaining about the condition for divisibility by 2, we have considered only units place, but for 4 we have to consider both units and tens place. That means in a given number we have to take the last 2 digits. The number formed by the last 2 digits, if it is divisible by 4, that entire number is also divisible by 4. Now let us have a check. Here in order to check the divisibility by 4, we will consider units and tens place. Now for example, if we take this number 5,74,892 to check whether it is divisible by 4 or not, here we will consider the last 2 digits, that means 92, that is 92. Now we have to check whether 92 is divisible by 4 or not. So as 92 is divisible by 4, that is 4 into 23 equal to 92. So the given number is also divisible by 4. So here by considering only the last 2 digits, that is units and tens place, we can decide whether the number is divisible by 4 or not. If the number formed by the last two digits is divisible by 4, that number is also divisible by 4, otherwise it is not. Now coming to the condition for divisibility by 5. Here also we consider only units place, because in the fifth table we get 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 like that. So alternately we get 5 or 0 in the units place. So a number which ends with 0 or 5 is divisible by 5. Now let us check. Here 4,89,257, is it divisible by 5 or not? Let us check. Now units place is 7. As 7 is not divisible by 5, that number 4,89,257 is also not divisible by 5. So that is how we can say the condition for divisibility by 5. Next, condition for divisibility by 6. So here for 6, we have to check the divisibility of a number by both 2 and 3, because 2 into 3 is 6. The factors for 6 are 1, 2, 3 and 6. Leave 1 and 6. Now 2 and 3 are the factors. So a number which is divisible by both 2 and 3 is also divisible by 6. Suppose a number is divisible by 2 and not by 3, or vice versa, then that number is not divisible by 6. Now let us check this example. Here we have 48,92,576. Now we have to check whether this number is divisible by 6 or not. For that, as the units place is 6, so the number is divisible by 2. And for divisibility by 3, we have to add the digits like this. So adding the digits we get 41, but 41 is not divisible by 3. So the given number 48,92,576 is divisible by 2 but not divisible by 3. So it is not divisible by 6. Next, coming to the divisibility, condition for divisibility by 8. For 2 we have considered only units place. For 4 we have considered units and tens place. Now for 8 we have to consider units, tens and hundreds place. So the number formed by the last 3 digits, if it is divisible by 8, then that number is also divisible by 8. Now let us have a check. Again we have 92,57,486. Now let us check whether this is divisible by 8 or not. For that, we have to consider the last 3 digits. The number formed by the last 3 digits is 486. Now if we check whether this is divisible by 8 or not, this number is not divisible by 8, because 860s are 480 and 6 is the remainder. So this number is not divisible by 8. Next, condition for divisibility by 9. Just like 3, where we have taken the sum of digits and checked whether the sum of digits is divisible by 3 or not, in the same way 9 also. To check whether a number is divisible by 9 or not, we have to add the digits. If the sum is divisible by 9, then the number is also divisible by 9. Let us check with this example. Here we have 98,48,256. To know whether it is divisible by 9 or not, we have to take the sum of digits. So the sum of digits is 42. Since 42 is not divisible by 9, that number 98,48,256 is also not divisible by 9. Next, the divisibility condition for 10 is that a number which ends with 0 is divisible by 10, because in 10th table we get 10, 20, 30, 40 and so on. So all these numbers, the multiples of 10, end with 0. So if units place is 0, that number is divisible by 10, or otherwise it is not. Now if you check the divisibility of 9,85,640, it is divisible by 10 because the units place is 10. Next, divisibility condition for 11. Here this is typical. Basically here we consider the alternative digits and find their sum. So if the difference between the sums of the alternate digits is either 0 or a multiple of 11, then it is divisible by 11, otherwise it is not. Now let us take an example. Here we have 7 crore 75 crore 48 lakh 10,632. Now let us check whether this number is divisible by 11 or not. For that we have to take the alternate digits, that is here 7, 5 is left, 4, then 1, 6 and 2, that is first, third, fifth, 7th, 9th places. So here the sum is 20 odd digits, odd positions, and some of the digits in even positions it is 5, 8, 0 and 3. The sum is 16. Now difference between these two, 20 minus 16 is 4. So as 4 is not divisible by 11, so this difference should be either 0 or a multiple of 11, but 4 is not a multiple of 11, so this number is not divisible by 11. Now coming to the divisibility division algorithm, here we can represent a number. Here suppose 248 is the number, this is dividend, and this number is divided by 14. This 14 which divides this number is called a divisor, and whatever the result we get here is the quotient. That means 14 divides 248 17 times, leaving 10 as remainder. Now in order to establish a relationship between these things like dividend, divisor, quotient and remainder, here this is the equation. This dividend, that is the number which we take in the middle, is called dividend, is equal to the divisor into quotient. That means the divisor times of the quotient and plus remainder. Now for example, if you consider this division, 248 is divided by 14, then 248 is the dividend, divisor is 14, and we get quotient as 17 and remainder as 10. So quotient is 17, remainder is 10. Now we can write 248 like this in the form of divisor multiplied by quotient plus remainder, 14 into 17 plus 10. So when 248 is divided by 14, it gives a quotient 17 and leaves a remainder 10. So thanks for watching this video. Keep learning more. For more videos, like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you.